This is Fox 40 News at 6. Now, Stephanie Cruz.
New video shows the plane crash at SFO that killed 2 teenagers and left nearly 200 people hurt, some with injuries they might never recover from.
Their recovery could be months and months, and maybe not even to full recovery.
And we still don't know why. Hi, everybody. I'm Stephanie Cruz, and let's get directly to what's new today on Asiana Flight 214 that crashed in San Francisco on Saturday. We do know that plane was flying too slow in the last seconds as it approached the runway. We don't know why. Parts of the plane have been found in the bay. The tail broke off when the plane hit the seawall, which separates the runway from the water. And so far, only 2 fatalities. Chinese teenagers Yi Mingwan and Wang Linjia. They were both sitting in the rear of the plane. It is possible one of the teen girls who died was run over by a responding fire truck, but the coroner has not yet confirmed the cause of death. We have team coverage on this story tonight. Maren Austin got an inside look at the cockpit of a Boeing to see what the pilot was looking at when he brought that plane into San Francisco. And Eric pieced together what was happening in the 7 seconds before the crash. But we'll start with Andrea Borbo, who is at San Francisco International Airport, where the nightmare travelers are enduring. Andrea?
Well, Stephanie, you know, it's always frustrating to get delayed at the airport, to have a late flight, to miss a connection. Well, imagine several international flights in a row that you missed to leave you in airport limbo. What's it been like to get here?
It's been hell.
New Zealander Bruce Law may not have been on Asiana Flight 214, but he has certainly experienced the worldwide ripple effect of closing San Francisco International Airport for hours.
We arrived at the airport in Auckland and then found out that, well, there'd been the crash and then that they couldn't fly in here, so we had to get a hotel room for the night.
From there, already 12 hours off schedule, the international dominoes began falling piece by piece for Law, and none in the right direction.
Yeah, we've had so many delays, and then we haven't been able to get a connecting flight, so we've lost our original flight to Paris.
Meaning Law landed in San Francisco at 2 a.m. Monday morning and has been here ever since.
We managed to now get a flight after getting run around for quite a while, and now we're flying out tonight about 10:15 to Paris.
For those of you doing the math at home, that's nearly 21 hours of Tom Hanks-esque airport limbo.
I'm exhausted. Yeah. I was actually just going to lie down there and have a sleep in the sun.
Nearly a day off his plans to ride the Tour de France route, Law says he would love a shower and a bed and an end to his travel trauma.
I'm over it.
5 minutes ago, Bruce Law and his wife, they headed inside to San Francisco International to get their tickets to check in for that 10 p.m. flight. But they, like many travelers, have found themselves at the mercy of an airport that is both a hub for Europe and for Asia, and kind of stuck in the middle while this gets sorted out.
Yeah, still in limbo some 2 days later. Thank you, Andrea. And here's a look at what happened to the people who were on board Asiana Flight 214. Of the 307 total, 40% survived unharmed. 182 were hospitalized. Their injuries ranging from scrapes and broken bones to traumatic brain injuries, spinal cord damage, and even paralysis. 2 people again, 16-year-old girls died. And Eric's in the newsroom because, Eric, you've actually been able to piece together what happened in the seconds before that flight hit the ground.
Steph, the really critical part of this flight seems to start about 7 seconds before the impact actually happened. That's when the crew in the cockpit acknowledged to each other that they were coming in slower than the recommended 137 knots and tried to punch it and speed up at that point. Then 4 seconds before impact, the plane warned that it was about to stall, which means that it was going close to 87 knots. 1.5 seconds before the impact actually happened, the cockpit crew tried to abort the landing altogether and get back up in the air. At the time of the impact, the airspeed was 106 knots. In other words, they were supposed to land going 157 miles an hour. Their airspeed was actually 121. And take a look at this. This animation gives us a better idea of exactly what happened. Take a look at this. The plane hit the seawall right there. The tail broke off. As it starts to spin, both engines broke off as well. The landing gear completely cleared the plane. A couple of 100 feet of debris, finally counterclockwise spin. And this is what you're seeing here. That is when the fire actually started, when that plane came to a complete stop in the grass between those runways.
And we've seen what the crash looks like from outside of the plane. That animation gives you an idea. But what about from inside? Maren Austin got in the cockpit to find out.
Well, while the investigation is still underway for Asiana Flight 214, we wanted to head into a cockpit and take a look at all that could go wrong.
The aircraft got so slow that the stall warning activated.
This was likely what the pilots heard just before Asiana Airlines Flight 214 crashed into the runway at San Francisco International Airport Saturday.
Pilots have the training, the judgment, the experience, and the skill.
Inside of this Boeing 727, former Delta Airlines pilot Scott Miller shows us what could have gone wrong inside of the cockpit.
When that aircraft was coming in for landing, the pilots were flying the airplane either using the autopilot or just using manual controls.
The NTSB confirmed it. The Boeing 777 was traveling too slow as it approached the runway. In fact, the plane was moving at 136 miles per hour, just 16 seconds before impact. The recommended speed when approaching the runway is 157 miles per hour.
Any number of mechanical failures could have led to the aircraft's airspeed getting too slow, or possibly a human factors incident where perhaps inattention or some other distraction.
What we do know is that a second and a half before impact, the crew tried to abort the landing, but they didn't make it. And of course, we want to reiterate that the cause of this crash is still under investigation. So this is all just speculation. We won't know exactly what happened until investigators tell us. Back to you.
And as this investigation continues, trust Fox 40 to get you the latest news as soon as it happens. Download our Fox 40 app, free for both Apple and Android devices. And new at 6, we